Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 820th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. And what a battle I've got for you today. This is a very unusual battle on a couple of counts, and you're going to see some pre-31k rules, okay? So that's what's going to make this battle very unusual, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, okay? But our first teammate is Brotherhood member Earth. Now Earth has got 7 archers. Get ready for this. Just 6 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so 7 archers, 6 infantry, 6 cavalry. If you notice here though that his cavalry, count the upgrades, 9 upgrades, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. That takes them out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket there. So as I say, 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. But will 6 fully upgraded cavalry make up for just 6 infantry? Well, I guess we'll say, as you can see, most of his army are hiding in the woods there at the moment. But as I say, he's got 6 infantry, 7 archers, and 6 maximum upgraded cavalry. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Vicox. Now, Vicox has just got 8 pikes, 6 archers, and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his pikes. And if you notice there, can you see he's got 8 upgrades? That's 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. That is the optimum upgrades for Macedonian royal pikemen there. 8 upgrades. That's the best value for money, and you get the best out of your troops with those upgrades. Just look at the length of those pikes that enemy troops have got to fight down to kill the man on the other end. And a quick look at the upgrades on his companion cavalry there, and he's got 7 upgrades, an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. Remember that companion cavalry has got a 10 charge bonus. I think that might be the highest cavalry charge bonus in the game. And our next teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, that's got a very old morale-based army. Okay, this has got 13 infantry and 6 cavalry. But this is one of the reasons I wanted to show you this battle, to show you a very old-school, old-fashioned morale-based army here. And the only reason I'm showing you this is because you'll see later on. Because you see I've got 1 eagle unit in this army. Okay, so that's a morale-boosting unit. And of course I've got my infantry general, so you've got the general morale bonus as well. Okay, so that's the eagle unit and the general morale bonus. But also, most of my infantry have got an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack on. Now make no mistake, that veteran stripe can make a real difference. Because as we know, veteran troops stand longer and fight longer than, say, new recruits. I always think gold shield, gold attack troops are just out of training. Okay, that's what I think. But when you put a veteran stripe on these troops, that means they've been in lots of battles. They're going to fight longer and hold longer. And as I say, this is a very old-fashioned, old-school morale-based army that I might have had maybe for 14 or 15 years. So I'll be interested to see how well it does. Now, our last teammate is Brotherhood member Spark. Now, get ready for this. Spark has got 8 heavy cavalry, 8 horse archers, and 4 foot archers. Yes, you heard right. 8 heavy cavalry, 8 horse archers, and 4 foot archers there. Now there's their horse archers there. Now I'm going to explain this a little bit later on to you. We're going to talk about this a bit later on. If you notice his cataphracts here, count the upgrades. 1, 2, 3. Fully upgraded cataphracts there. Okay, 3 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Remember we call these guys the tanks of the ancient world because they're armoured from head to toe. Okay, but as I say, I will explain to you why Spark has got so much cavalry a little bit later on. Okay, as I say, this is pre-31k rules, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, and it should make the battle even more interesting. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I just thought I'd show you this old-fashioned, old-school battle formation from maybe 14 or 15 years ago. As I say, it's an old-school, morale-based army. As I say, you can see I've got my eagle unit and general unit at the back of my battle formation there, keeping them out of the fray for as long as possible. And as I say, if you look at the upgrades on most of my infantry, it's 7 upgrades. A veteran stripe, gold shield, gold attack. The pilot shield unit are lesser upgraded there. They've only got gold shield on, I think, and maybe a bronze attack. But as I say, that this battle formation itself and the makeup of the battle formation there has proved to be very, very resilient and strong during the course of battles. But in this battle formation is sorely tested. Will it hold, or is it too old-fashioned and too old school? Well, I guess we'll just have to see. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Stevelongshanks, the host of this battle. Now get ready for this. He's got 13 heavy cavalry, 1 horse archer, and 6 foot archers. Yes, 13 cavalry, 1 horse archer, and 6 foot archers. As I say, we're going to talk about this a little bit later on. If you notice there, he's got the head-hunting maidens with their effective against armour axes there. Now when you hear the word maiden, you might think of soft, gentle, you know, very caring kind of type person. Well, that ain't these. The maidens are the tough ladies of Rome Total War. And with those effective against armour axes, I would say cavalry versus cavalry. These are probably the best cavalry in the game, but they're not so good against infantry. But as I say, cavalry versus cavalry with their effective against armour axes, I believe they are the best cavalry in the game. But as I say, not that good against infantry. Okay, so Steve, I think, has got 13 units of head-hunting maidens, I think. And he's got 1 horse archer unit here as well. Now these Scythian noble horse archers are very tough. Look at the armour that they wear, so they got really good defence as well. You don't see them very often on the 31k battlefield. And there you are, he's got his foot archers as well. Over here, you'll see that he's got his barbarian chosen warlord general there, his general unit there. Okay, so as I say, when you see this Scythian army, you'll be thinking, why all this cavalry? But that will all be explained a little bit later on. So, as I say, you've got the head-hunting maidens there. Watch out for them during the course of the battle. They could be pretty tough against other cavalry. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Aurelius, with his faction of choice Greek cities. Now, Aurelius has got just 4 archers, 12 Spartans, and his armoured cavalry general. Okay, that's his faction of choice, and this will be a tried and tested army. There's his general armoured bodyguard there. Unusual to see that particular general unit there with a Greek city's army, but the rest of his Greek city troops are hiding in the woods there. Okay, that's what we suspect there, that those woods there are hiding the Greek city army. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Lando. Now Lando has got 15 infantry and 5 cavalry. Okay, 15 infantry and 5 cavalry. So that's a pretty powerful Roman army there. If we have a look there, he's just got 7 upgrades on his cavalry and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So as I say, I think that's a pretty good Roman army there of Lando's. And their last teammate is RTW player Luke. Now Luke has got 7 archers, 7 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 7 archers, 7 infantry and 6 cavalry. Check out the upgrades on his cavalry. If you count those upgrades, 1, 2, 3, 9 upgrades, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. As we said earlier, that takes them out of the elite bracket into the super cavalry bracket. But will 6 maximum upgraded cavalry just make up for 7 infantry? Well, I guess we'll just see as the battle unfolds there. But I always think that's quite a small amount of infantry to bring, isn't it, on the battlefield? 7 units. Be interesting to see what happens as the battle unfolds. Should be a great one to watch. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I wanted to explain to you why Steve and Spark have got 2 cavalry armors here, and that's just to say, when Stevelongshanks and myself introduced 31k to RTW about 15 or 16 years ago, most of the people we played with bought the Rome faction. So as 31k was going to be experimental, I hosted a lot in those days, and I was going to start hosting at 31k. We found most of the time we played at 30k, but we found adding that extra 1,000 denarii really could make your army just right. So that's why we thought, well, we'll host at 31k. But as I say, most of the players that we played with Rome. So as 31k was experimental, we thought we had to bring in Rome friendly rules. So like you say, 6 cavalry max, 2 horse archers max, 3 berserkers max, 6 cavalry max. That's the rules that were kind of Rome friendly. But before we introduced those rules, we were looking at other rules as well. And that was to encourage cavalry units into our games. So for instance, Parthia was going to be 8 heavy cavalry and 8 horse archers, which is exactly what Spark has got here. and Scythia was going to be 14 cavalry max, but there had to be one horse archer amongst those 14 cavalry. You see what I mean? So before we introduce the rules that have been with us now for about 16 years for 31k, we were looking at other rules. Now, Stevelongshanks found a notebook a few weeks ago with different army rules, rules in for 31k, and these cavalry rules he found. So that's why he wanted to host this battle, so he could bring these pre-31k rules onto the 31k battlefield just to see how it worked. So, as I say, the existing 31k rules were very Rome friendly. We felt we had to do that when we introduced 31k, which was experimental at the time. And as I say, most of the people we played with bought Rome. So that's why the 31k rules are so Rome friendly. But as I say, we were looking at other rules here to bring in for bringing all this cavalry in. But we knew at the time, if we bought these rules in about bringing all this cavalry, that some Rome players would be complaining about, oh, too much cavalry. So, as I say, these are pre-31k rules. Steve's got, as I say, 14 cavalry max for Scythia, including one horse archer, and 8 horse archers and 8 heavy cavalry for Parthia. So, as I say, these are pre-31k rules. Be interesting to see. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see Spark taking his foot archers forward there towards the enemy team. And if you notice, he's backing his archers up with his heavy, fully upgraded cataphracts there. And you can see that both Steve and Aurelius there have got their cavalry generals in possibly an exposed position there. If Spark's quick enough there, he may well be able to hit them. Look at that. Bang! As that armoured cavalry general of Aurelius there smashes into that horse archer unit. You can see that the horse archers are shooting arrows into those armoured cavalry units there of both Steve and Aurelius there. So, as I say, it'll be interesting to see how Parthia and Scythia does on the 31k battlefield with these pre-31k rules here, allowing them to bring so much cavalry. Be interesting to see. I think it should add a little bit more of a new dimension to the battlefield, hopefully. There, as I say, you can see those fast moving horse archers chasing Aurelius's armoured cavalry general down there. And if you notice here, I've moved my Roman army over to this right flank here to assist Parthia. Now, here amongst the trees, we believe that the whole Greek city's army is hiding, so we need to be careful there. As I recall, I believe he's got 12 Spartans there, plus I think at least 4 Cretan archers. If you notice here, Steve has moved his Scythian army over here to be with Lando and Luke. Okay, there you can see those Cretan archers of Aurelius is there. Have just started shooting arrows into our team there. As I say, I think there's 4 Cretan archers there. But if you notice, they're in close, tight formation. Now, this is something that I wouldn't advise people to do, because the reason we have units in open order is because they suffer less casualties from missiles. If you've got them in close, tight formation like that, you've got potentially units that would be lost quite quickly. Now, here can you see Vicox has got his units in open order, his archer units in open order, and over here you will see that Spark has got his archers in open order as well, because they both know that units in open order suffer a lot less casualties than these units here that are in close tight formation. And Aurelius could lose a heck of a lot of his archers here quite quickly. Here you can see that they're targeting the Parthian archers at the moment. Remember, those Parthian foot archers are very, very short range. So Spark's got to run them forward to get into range of those Cretan archers there. And of course, as they run forward, they will be suffering casualties. I see that Spark's got one of his horse archer units in Cantabrian Circle there. And that'll be, as I say, the rate of fire that these horse archers can do in Cantabrian Circle is quite amazing. And there you can see Vicox has brought a couple of his Cretan archers forward as well to target Aurelius, his Cretan archers here in the woods. But as I say, in these close, tight formations, when I first started to play Rome Total War, I thought it was great putting archers in close, tight formation until I found how quickly they could be killed. So it's always best to put your archers in open order so they suffer less casualties there. But as I say there, Aurelius is going to suffer a lot of casualties there quite quickly. I think the trees may well shield him a little bit from the archer fire coming in on him, but I still think he's going to suffer a lot of casualties there. Here you can see Luke moving his archers forward, and Steve is also moving his archers forward as well to assist Aurelius's archers in the woods. There you can see them moving forward. There. I think the enemy had quite a few archers there. You can see, I think Steve had mixed foot archers. He had the chosen archers and the medium range archers as well. There. But as I say, you can see Spark has brought a couple of his foot archers forward there to get in range of those Cretan archers. And of course, as I say, he's got a horse archer unit shooting into them there. Okay, but just look at the casualties that Aurelius has already suffered there through having his archers in that close, tight formation in the woods. Let's pause the game for a second there. So these are 81-man units. What's that reduced to there? Was that 8 men, was it there? 12 men there. 17 men there. As I say, these are 81-man units have been reduced to those numbers already through having archers in close, tight formation there. Okay, so newer players to Rome Total War, there you are. You can have a look at that and see how important it is to put your archers in open order. Right, there's his Spartans there. Remember, units hide in the woods until they move. The moment they move, they then become visible. That poor horse archer unit of Spark had a bit of a shock. I think if you look, and you see distraught by enemy numbers. They were just riding into the woods, and then they activated all those Spartans, stood up and come towards them. They're so scared, they routed, and I don't blame them either. That must have been a bit of a shock for those horse archers going into the woods and seeing all those Spartans there coming towards them, and that's why that unit routed quite quickly. But there you are, you can see Aurelius looks like he's moving his Spartans out of the woods there, very slowly. Caused that horse archer unit a few casualties there. He's moving forward. I shall have to be careful of that, because obviously I don't want to put my Roman army head on against Greek city units there. Okay, so as I say, myself and Spark has moved over to the right flank, as you can see, and I should be watching that Greek city's army very closely. But if you notice, our allies Vicox and Earth have moved over onto the left flank, so we've actually split our team. Now, is that a good tactical move? Is that something that you would do? As I say, Vicox and Earth are right all the way over on that left flank, and Spark and myself are all the way over on the right flank with all these enemy troops in between us. So I'm not sure, looking at this, that was a good tactical move. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now look at poor old Aurelius' archers now. Look, 81-man unit down to 6 men, 4 men there. Is it 7 men? And that was 7 men in that unit. And he's got 13 men in that unit, so you can see how his archers were decimated there in quite a quick time, really. As I say, that's what happens if you put your archers in close, tight formation against archers that are in open order. But here you can see Aurelius got his army in the woods there. I wonder what he's going to do with his Spartans. It'd be interesting to see if he moves back to his allies, or if he's going to try and attack my Julii army there. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. I've got a feeling Spark's going to get some good kills in this battle, looking at all the archers he's got, and knowing the damage that he did to those Cretan archers of Aurelius there. I would think, as I say, Spark with this pre-31k rules army could do quite well here, I think, really. You can see Aurelius there. Looks like he's moving his army back towards his allies, but as I say, I know we've looked at these archers a few times now, but they have literally been decimated there in that close, tight formation that they were in. Here you can see Steve moving some of his archers forward. Luke's got some of his Bruta archers there shooting into our archers as well. But those horse archers of Parthia there that Sparks bought, 8 of them, when you put them in Canterbury and Circle, they can have to do some damage there. You can see Earth is getting his cavalry behind the enemy team there. That looks like quite a good move. And as I say, both the infantry of Vicox and Earth there are right over on that far left flank. So I wonder if the enemy team are thinking of attacking either flank with all their troops. You can see Luke has got his cavalry over here on our right flank here. Now what I'm thinking that he's thinking there, I wonder if he's thinking, if Aurelius engages my infantry, holds and pins my infantry, I wonder if this is what Luke's thinking. So Aurelius holds and pins my infantry, and then Luke could smash his cavalry into the flank of my infantry there. But obviously Luke's not thinking that anymore. He's moving his cavalry over, maybe because he's just spotted Earth's fully upgraded cavalry in behind their team, and so Luke is taking his fully upgraded cavalry there to try and counter Earth's cavalry there. But you can see the enemy have got a lot of archer units here now, shooting into our archers there. And you can see that Steve has integrated his short range archer units there with or medium range archer units there with the Cretan archers. You don't see this unit very often. In fact, you don't see Scythia very often on the 31k battlefield, but with these pre-31k rules, you can see how Parthia and Scythia could be brought to the 31k battlefield. So you can see Aurelius here moving his Spartans forward here, looking like he's going towards my Roman army. Well, of course, I'm not going to play that game that Aurelius wants to play, where my Roman army takes on his Greek cities head on. So if he gets any closer to my army, I will probably pull away from his Greek cities army there. As I say, Aurelius would love me to just stand still and let his Greek cities charge into my forward units of my battle formation, but I'm not going to do that. There you are. Can you see, as the Greek cities get closer to me, I'm going to move my infantry away. Okay, over here you'll see that Luke has moved his cavalry down here now. He certainly has been very, very flexible with the way that he has moved his cavalry around the battlefield there. You can see Lando moving his cavalry forward. Now what I'm thinking here is, I wonder if Lando and Luke's cavalry might team up here, and maybe the headhunting maidens might join in as well and go for my Parthian ally Spark. I don't know what you guys are thinking there, but there you are. You can see Lando bringing his cavalry. We know that Lando is one of the most aggressive attacking players in the game. You can see Luke taking his archers forward there to target our cavalry and infantry. And you can see that I've moved my infantry battle formation, and I'm moving my cavalry closer to that in that particular position. And if you notice there, Aurelius is taking his Spartans back over towards his allies there. But Spark and myself there have situated ourselves just there, still a long way away from our allies of Earth and Vicox over that side. Now, I'm wondering whether the enemy team, bearing in mind they've got all their armies together there, could it decide to attack one flank or the other? I wonder if all these troops here, all these enemy troops, could be brought to bear either against myself and Spark or against Vicox and Earth. Do you see what I mean? If the whole entire enemy team decides, let's hit Spartan, for instance, they could all come over and attack my army and Spark's army, couldn't they? Because they're all together there, and our team split up. So the way that the enemy army looks like it's moving, it looks like it's moving towards the other flank. Looks like it's moving towards Earth and Vicox. Right, can you see this cavalry of Lando's here threatening Spark's cataphracts? Now, is Lando going to charge in there, or has he seen the upgrades on those cataphracts and think, maybe not? And I see that he's moving his Scipii cavalry back, maybe to team up with his Bruto ally Luke, who we know has got fully upgraded cavalry. If you notice here, you'll see Spark moving his cavalry out of harm's way there, because he certainly didn't want to get hit by two lots of cavalry there. You can see both Luke and Lando being extremely aggressive here, aren't they? Look at that. But as I say, we got Spark's fully upgraded cataphracts, and I've got my cavalry as well that could charge in there if Luke and Lando decide to attack at that particular part of the battlefield there. You can see how I'm moving my red Julii cavalry over to help my Parthian ally there, just in case. But if you notice there, you'll see that Lando and Luke have pulled their cavalry back now. And I've got my infantry there, and you can see the Greek city's army facing my army there. But as I say, Luke and Lando have decided to pull their cavalry back. Now their team may well have decided that they're going to attack on the other flank, and that's why they decided not to bring all their cavalry over here. Possibly. I'm just looking at a general disposition of the enemy troops there. Now here you can see, as I say, I think Spartan's going to get some really good kills in this game because he's using his horse archers very, very effectively. All the way through the game so far, they've been shooting into enemy troops, causing them casualties. Now you can see that Earth has now brought his archers forward there, his 6 archers forward. And so they're fresh archers there. I don't think he's used them up to this stage of the battle, so they've got fully arrowed up, if you know what I mean, 30 arrows each. Remember, that's what archer units have got in RTW, 30 arrows, and just for a matter of interest, slingers have got 40 slingshots there. But you can see that Earth's fresh archers are shooting a lot of arrows into Aurelius' Spartan army there. So make no mistake, as those Spartans are moving, even though they've got 2 hit points, they will be suffering some casualties here. You can just see the volume of arrows going into those Spartans there from those fresh archer units of Earth. Now you can see the Spartans moving towards Earth here. Now bearing in mind that Earth has only got 6 infantry, is he going to try and stand his ground, or is he going to back off? It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I would think up against this many Spartans, 12 Spartans, I would think that he would back off, and that's exactly what he's doing there. Can you see how Aurelius now has spread his Spartans out in one line there? So as he moves forward, look, he can cover more ground there. You see what I mean? And over here you'll see, my guess is that Lando's going to go for Vicox, because Lando wants to throw in loads of pilers into Vicox, his Macedonian units. And then you've got all of Steve's cavalry there, and you've got Luke's infantry there as well. So whether all their team's going to attack Vicox and Earth, it'll be interesting to see. But as I say, the general disposition of the enemy team looks to me like they are going to attack poor old Vicox and Earth there. And those Spartans there in that big long line moving forward there. No wonder Earth is moving both his infantry and archers back there. Do you see that? He's moving his infantry and archers back there from that incoming Spartan attack. Now looks like the Greek city's general just been taken out by one of the Parthian horse archer units. So that's good news for us, taking morale bonus away from the enemy team. You'll see both Vicox and Earth are withdrawing their troops here under a massive enemy attack that's coming towards them. So there's no messing about, there's no guessing now. You can see that the enemy strategy here is to attack Earth and Vicox. Okay, you can see that quite clearly now. They saw that Earth probably only got 6 infantry, so they're thinking, well, that's good. And they can see that the Macedonian general Vicox has only got 8 pikes there. I think he had 8 pikes, didn't he, with 8 upgrades on there. But you can see the enemy troops moving towards them there. Now Steve's, as I say, he's got this Scythian cavalry army there with the headhunting maidens. He'll probably be looking to try and take out enemy cavalry if he can. He'll realise that they're not that good against infantry. But as I say, cavalry versus cavalry, the headhunting maidens are probably the best cavalry in the game, but they don't do that good against infantry. But you can see all the enemy team now moving towards Earth and Vicox here. So make no mistake, there's no pretense, there's no messing around now. That's the enemy team plan. I bet the shout up when it hit Earth and Vicox. There you can see some of Earth's units and Vicox units starting to rout now as the Spartans are moving forward. I think Earth and Vicox are doing the right thing in withdrawing their troops. You can see I'm moving my Julii army forward, both infantry and cavalry, and you can see Sparks moving his Parthian cavalry forward as well. So we're trying to maybe get into the rear of the enemy team if they attack our allies. So it'd be nice to get them in a hammer and anvil attack if we could, if you see what I mean. You can see us moving forward really fast there. But those Spartans could well be a problem with their 2 hit points and excellent specifications. Here you'll see Spark taking out a lot of Steve's archers there. So well done to Spark. As I say, I've got a feeling he's going to get some good kills in this game with that Parthian army. But over here you'll see that Lando's moving his Scipio army forward very aggressively. And as I say, you can see Aurelius moving his Spartans forward there as well. Okay, Now what I'm thinking here is I wonder whether Earth's thinking of holding his ground with his 6 infantry, letting the Spartans engage him, right? Just follow this logic I'm trying to think of here. Let the Spartans engage him there so he's holding and pinning them, and then if Spark's battlefield aware, he could then charge his cavalry, his fully upgraded cataphracts, into the rear of the engaged Spartans as they're fighting Earth's infantry. Now I'm just thinking that what do you guys think? Do you think that could be a good tactic there? So as I say, Earth's only got 6 infantry, so to stand and hold his ground might look a bit of a bad tactical move. But if he's thinking ahead here, he's not going to pull his infantry back. He's encouraging the Spartans to hit his infantry. There you go, look. So he's decided here that he's going to stand his ground, and hopefully either my cavalry or Spark's Parthian cavalry could smash into the rear. Now there's something I want to show you here. Can you see Aurelius has hit Earth's infantry there, but can you see that he hasn't put his spears down? Can you see that the Spartans are using their secondary weapon, their sword, okay, which is very weak. The secondary weapon of the Spartans is very weak against Roman troops especially. Okay, the spears, the phalanx, the spears that they use, that's what their strength is. But using the secondary weapon, a sword, is not a very good idea, especially against Roman troops. And you can see that at the moment, all these Spartan troops are using their secondary weapon, the sword. Okay, now what I'm thinking here, as I say, if Spark is battlefield aware, he will spot what's going on with Earth and hopefully smash those fully upgraded cataphracts into the rear of those engaged Spartans in a massive hammer and anvil attack. Do you see what I mean? That's what I'm thinking that Earth was thinking, and maybe I'm not sure, I can't remember if Earth communicated with Spark about this, but I think the Spark will probably spot that. But meanwhile over here you'll see that Lando being very, very aggressive here along with Steve's cavalry there, that they've already routed a couple of pike units of Vicox there, okay, and you can see them moving forward. As I say, Lando wants to get in range of those pikes so he can throw loads of pilers into them. I think, now let's have a look, I think Vicox has only got 1, 2, how many of his pike, 2, 3, 4, he's only got 5 of his pike units left, and some of them have been battle damaged as well. So he needs to be very careful there with all that enemy infantry and cavalry coming in on him. But as I say, back to this part of the battlefield here, you'll see I'm moving my Julii infantry and cavalry forward here. I want to try and get into the rear of those enemy troops if I can. There. That's what I'm going to try and do. But let's go back to here and see if Earth and Spark between them could get a massive hammer and anvil attack on these Spartans. Now let's see if the Spartans are going to start using their spears. Look closely there. There you are. Can you see? Now watch for the spears coming out. There you are. Can you see that Aurelius now has realised that he was using his secondary weapon and has now changed to the spears. So these Spartans now are fighting with the full strength. See the cavalry coming in behind him. Now is Aurelius going to spot this? Is he going to turn his Spartans in time, or are they going to get hit? Right. Nice battlefield awareness by Aurelius there. He could see the enemy cavalry coming in and he's turned his Spartans to face the threat. Now Spark has done the right thing there. He's backed his cavalry off because he doesn't want to charge into anti-cavalry spears, and especially not anti-cavalry Spartan spears. So you can see that. Now if I was Earth, I'd charge my infantry into the rear of those Spartans. Now they've turned their back on it, on that infantry, to face the cavalry. So if Earth charges into the rear and then brings his own cavalry in to smash into the rear of those Spartans, I think that could be a really good move. So between Spark and Earth here, maybe, just maybe, they could take out that whole Spartan army. You see what I mean there? So now Earth charges infantry in. Go on Earth, charge your infantry in and then smash in with your cavalry as well, which is what he's doing there. And bang! As that cavalry smashes into the rear of that Spartan unit. Now the thing is, what's Spark going to do here? The Spartans are still facing him, but the moment those Spartans change direction to face the SBQR infantry and cavalry, then Spark maybe could charge his cavalry in there. But you can see that poor old Aurelius' Spartan army here, it looks like it's going to be smashed and crashed here by all this cavalry and infantry of Earth and Sparks. pause the game for a second here so you can see there a lot of impact going in onto those Spartans, and there is a chance here that if the cavalry of Spark charges into the flank of those moving Spartans there, he could rout them as well. So there's a lot going on there, but with them over there, it leaves my army very isolated. Can you see that? Can you see how isolated my army is here? And look at all the enemy cavalry. Remember, Luke's cavalry is fully upgraded. There, he's got his infantry, he could pull in there. Just look at all the enemy troops that are around my Julii army there. All of Lando's infantry, you've got all of those headhunting maidens, plus Lando's cavalry as well. Okay, so do you remember that I showed you that this battle formation and army there is very, very old, but it is an old-fashioned morale-based army. Be interested to see what happens here. Now, poor old Vicox has suffered so many casualties, look. I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do here to help us. He's just so battle damaged there. I think he's lost his cavalry as well, possibly. I'm not sure there, but you can see there. No, you can see Vicox has charged his cavalry in there with his 10 charge bonus there, so his cavalry's okay. But just look, so basically what's happened here, all of Aurelius's Greek city's army has been taken out by Spark, Earth, and the cavalry of Vicox there. Right, so there's my infantry army now, and you can see all the enemy troops. Now what they'll be thinking is take out Spartan's army. Okay, that's what they'll be thinking here. Take out my army. Okay, I've got Luke's archers here shooting into the flank of my infantry all the time. He'll be causing casualties with those archers there. But just look at all those enemy troops there, ready to smash into my old-fashioned, old-school, morale-based infantry battle formation there. But just look at that. There goes Luke's fully upgraded Brutii cavalry. Get ready for this. And bang! As he smashes in there. Oh my gosh, look at the penetration of that cavalry into my battle formation. And then comes, you can see that Lando's infantry. Here comes the headhunting maidens in from the flank, and bang, as they smash into me. I'm now going to charge my cavalry in there to try and help my beleaguered infantry. See my cavalry going in there as well, and bang, as that charges in there. And then you'll see that all the infantry of Lando is now attacking my infantry. Oh my gosh, there goes that cavalry coming in on my infantry again, and bang, that's Luke's cavalry coming in again. Let's just pause the game for a second here. No, we're not. There you are. You can see Lando's cavalry charging in as well. And bang! As that smashes into my infantry as well. You can see I've charged my cavalry in to try and help my infantry. Right. So I've got all of Lando's infantry and cavalry. I've got all the headhunting maidens charging on me. I've got Luke's fully upgraded cavalry charging on me. I've got, as I say, Lando's cavalry coming in on my flank. And still that old-fashioned, old-school morale-based battle formation still held. See, so I wanted to show you this because with good upgrades on your infantry plus an eagle unit there as well to throw in extra morale, look how my army is holding. I'm pretty sure if that was just a gold shield, gold attack army, my Julii army would have routed by now. Now you can see Luke here with his infantry. Is he looking to get in behind my Julii infantry? Is that what he's thinking there? You can see my Parthian allies just bringing over some cavalry to help there. You can see him charging in there, and bang, as his cavalry smashes in there. You can see Vicox bringing over some of his battle damaged pike units there as well. But still my Julii army is still holding there. Oh my gosh. And you can see, as I say, I remember Spark said to me after the battle, he said, I just can't believe how well your army held. And then I told him about, let's say, it's old school, old fashioned morale based army there. So I was really pleased with that. But as I say, I've been smashed and crashed. Am I going to get hit again? I can see enemy cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in. You can see that cavalry. Could this be the final straw? You can see infantry and cavalry charging into my units there. Bang! As they smash into my units there. Killed my general on impact there. Just look, and you can see Luke ramming home his infantry as well. I've pulled my cavalry back, locked and loaded, and charged it in again. Still, my Julii army is still just about holding there. As I say, Sparks brought his Parthian cavalry into the fray there, and you can see Earth has brought some of his infantry in as well there to help out my my units. You can see the Brutii infantry of Luke's there fighting my infantry, but luckily my allies have came in to support me here very quickly, which I'm glad about there. Over here you'll see Luke and Lando's cavalry fighting Earth's fully upgraded cavalry there. That's a massive cavalry battle going on there. Oh my gosh, I know the great upgrades that both lots of cavalry have got there. Oh my gosh, but you can see that Earth is charging in some of his infantry, and you can see Vicox's cavalry charging in there as well. And my cavalry is still charging into enemy troops. If you notice now, I've taken my infantry out of defense mode and I'm now attacking the enemy troops there. You can see I'm moving my infantry forward as well as my cavalry there. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So over here, it looks like Earth has managed to rout a lot of Luke's cavalry there. You've got the horse archers still shooting arrows into the enemy troops like they've been doing all the way through the battle. As I say, I suspect Spark's going to get some good kills here with his Parthian army, his Parthian cavalry army here. The use of his archers there have been really good, and the use of his heavy cavalry has been really good as well. But still we're holding there. There's that Parthian cavalry charging like a bang. Is it charging? I think Luke has just admitted defeat. Yep, Luke has just admitted defeat, and then I think I can see other armies there. I think the enemy have admitted defeat there, so our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. So here, yep, Lando's just admitted defeat as well, so we managed to as I say, go on to win the battle there. As I say, splitting our team up to go to one flank to the other, I don't know if that's a good idea. I think I've got 5 units left. Have I 1, 2, got 14 men in that 81 man unit. Yeah, I think it's just a few very, very battle damaged units there, maybe 5, 6 or 7 units left there, but they're all very battle damaged there. Mind you, I was smashed and crashed there by enemy troops there. So I say, if you go over here, look, this is where the Spartans were caught in that massive hammer and anvil attack between Spark and Earth. And then Vicox's cavalry, companion cavalry with their 10 charge bonus charged in as well there. So that took out all that Spartan army there. To move across here, you can see some more dead. And then over here, it seems to be the most contested part of the battlefield here. Just looking at the piles of dead that are here. Oh my gosh, you could just see loads and loads of dead lying in that long grass there. And over here, that was that massive cavalry battle there between Lando, Luke, Earth there as well. That was a massive cavalry battle there. But as you can see, our team has managed to go on to win the battle. I know Vicox's infantry was greatly diminished there, and his cavalry, he did well with his cavalry as well. But as I say, very battle damaged units left on the battlefield here. And as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. I'd just like to say, first of all, well done to everybody in the game. I thought everybody played well, really well played, guys. Clear victory. I thought, looking at what we had left on the battlefield, maybe an average victory might have been kind of more. We must have just crept into the clear. Highest kills in the game, well, goes to Parthia with Spark there, 1,806 with his Parthian cavalry army. So it just goes to show, doesn't it? If you change the rules a little bit, how you can make a faction that is hardly ever seen on the 31k battlefield, the best gets the best kills in the game. So certainly a bit of food for thought there. So well done to Steve with his Scythian army there. He'll be, as I say, if we get less than 1,000 kills, we're a bit disappointed. So he'll be disappointed with his kills there. But that's the first time he's bought that army in many, many years. So, you know, maybe practice there. Well done to Aurelius. He'll be disappointed as well there with less than 1,000 kills. But he was smashed and crashed over on that flank, wasn't he? Between Earth and Spark there. So he'll be disappointed in that. Well done to Lando, he's got over 1,000 kills. Well done to him with his Scipio army. And well done to Luke. As I say, he'll be disappointed he got less than 1,000 kills as well. But really well played, guys. I thought that was a very interesting battle. My kills, I've got less than 1,000 kills. So, yep, I'm a little bit disappointed. But I'm pleased with the way that old school, old-fashioned army from maybe 14, 15 years ago, a morale-based army, held so well against those massive enemy attacks. So I just thought that was, I was really pleased with that. And a good example of what good upgrades can do. Well done to Earth, got some really good kills there with his army. Remember, he only had 6 infantry units, did Earth. Look at the kills he got with that. Well done to Vicox. I say he'll be a bit disappointed. He's got less than 1,000 kills there. But I thought he did quite well with Macedon. And as I say, well done to Spartan with Parthia, highest kills in the game. So really well played. What do you think about faction advantage? They had Scythia, Greek cities, Rome and Rome. I thought that's quite a strong combination. And we had Rome, Macedon and Parthia. So did you think either team had a real faction advantage there? Or do you think it was quite even? Just to say, we play Rome Total War every Friday and Saturday night. If you'd like to join us, it would be really great to see you. And as you can see, we have really good battles on this game. And I just thought seeing the old pre-31k rules for cavalry was pretty interesting for this battle. See you soon.